SQLite databases, and you are play with them and sort of them, so and then you are displayed to you. This is the instance. This is taking care of the object provider. One object provider. You can have the couple of object providers which are running on the background and sorting the data, and you have access to them via content resolver. This is the class which is able to write and read the data from content providers. This is good to remember that if you want to access, don't do this is not possible to do it by content provider class. It's done by content resolver. I'm mentioning because of my experience. Okay, if every application has defined its manifest XML file, there are essential information about your application. It means how many activities you have stored inside your application and which is the main activity which is run it at and which is taking care about what's displayed to you. Okay, every application has its well-defined folder structure. You will see on this slide where is how it is. XML file lies in the root where are defined the permissions. It means if you start activities, your application without defining any permission, for example, to read a contact, to handle the phone call, or maybe internet access, so your application did nothing in that case. Like if you have implemented some activity or listener, if you click the button, there should be displayed some link on your web browser, and you don't have implemented this permission, so nothing happened. It means this is the security of your application. So if you are intending to do something behind your virtual machine, instance of Dalving, you should tell your application what you are intending to do. If you want to access internet, you should store this permission in your XML file, in your manifest file. Okay, there are also resources file which define all resources as a layouts and values where you are using for. There is also a very important folder called gen. This is automatically generated, and there is implemented description of everything what you have inside your application. The strings and values. Okay, in user interface, it's very interesting also, and really needed to know how it works. You are expecting of your application that some content will be, some graphics going to be displayed for you. And this handled by views, or you could have a group of views. There is on the right side up, there is a hierarchy how it is set up. It means you have a couple of other activities which are also providing some views, but it is placed in hierarchy. There should be one hierarchy, one root group views, which is taken from which you can go to others' views. Layouts are stored in XML file. It means if you create some new view, it's read the information from that XML file, and based on this information, to create the view for you. You can also, if you're intending to create any submenu or menus, you have to have stored this information in the XML files. Event listener, you can have defined it on your bottom as I have, and because of Android is development, you have REST is a framework application framework, you have to override some methods. One of the main methods you have to have overridden is onCreate method. Okay, advanced topics are adapters and cursor. For example, the adapter, just if you are planning to develop application for Android, just remember that adapter is a bridge between the views and operation with the content you are doing. It's a bridge. So it means the view handle your result, send it to views, and also you have to have created the cursor is connected very closely. Cursor is contain the pointer on the rows of data you have in the adapter. It's a good explainer. If you have row of data, the cursor is a pointer to the top of this data. Okay, system styles and themes. It's really better to have it stored everything in XML file. It's easy to change, and I will show you later how. This is the zero example was the progress dialog. Handler is only lying there, and it handles the messages and do something with the messages. In that case of the progress dialog, it's just increase. There is only increase the value for the time to reach the 100%, and inform the progress dialog in which position it is in process status. It's done by thread, and I will show you in a source code because it may be easier to explain how it is working. Even let me see, I don't know where I have my, okay, here it is. Here it is. This is, as I have told you, here is the first method you have to override when you create a new activity. New activity, this is the root activity of our project. This is the presentation project. It's extend the activity, and here it's contain what's gonna happen. It's show dialog. Show dialog, I have created dialog, progress dialog, one object, and by calling the method, by calling method show dialog, I have called the method of progress dialog, which has to be implemented too, and it is here, dialog object call on create dialog, and that says what's gonna happen when I show the progress dialog that says how should be created. When I have the more dialogues in my activity in my project, I have to take care which dialog should be displayed. So I'm forced to set up the integer number of the dialog I want intending to display, and based on this value, I create the object progress dialog. And as you can see, the progress dialog is started in thread by handler. Handler is a pointer to the status of the thread, and it's shared. I call the start thread, which is here, and start thread has assigned the handler as a pointer, as you can see here, and increase the value and send it back to my root application, and the status of the thread is displayed to me. Is it understandable? So if you want to start any thread, you have to put the pointer to which thread is assigned and how it should be displayed. Okay, And do remember that if you do anything, you have to have assigned value to the object what you really did. It means start dialog number. This is the value of my activity. Okay, let's go to the custom dialog. Maybe there could be more understandable. Show custom dialog is a new example, which is which is doing very simple thing. You are doing the application development. Maybe you want to share the values over your whole project. It means if you do something in one activity, you want to you want to know the result what you have done in other activity, right? And custom dialog is this example. It started, as I told you before, by the button. If I press the button, show dialog is started, and it's requesting me to write some values. I write you ahoy, and I will send the values to other part of my activity, and it's displayed. That's really gonna happen. Okay? It's very, very simple, but it's not that simple to implement because you need to have some pointer to your root activity and the activity you have run it. It means it means what the custom dialog which is displayed. Okay, the sharing any value in project is done by interface. This is the way how it is possible to share values over your project. And it's a very simple to implement because you in a custom dialog, in the custom dialog class, you will create the very simple interface which is only ready string. It means you have written something. It's an interface. And in your root activity, you implement that method. You say to your root activity what it should do with that value. And as you have seen here, I have it implemented, that interface, from the this is the other example, from the custom dialog, and I only put it to my text view. Text view is defined in my XML file, and it's responsible for displaying the string. That's only what is done here. Okay, I write the message, I receive the message, and I display the message to the text view. This is just very, very simple. Just I write the ahoy 2, and it's really displayed. Maybe I should here notice how the project is defined, how the view is defined to you, because I forget it. I have, okay, in XML, it's going to be more clear. In XML file, in a main XML file, as I know, in a resource directory, there is the main layout XML, where I have defined how the view should be displayed and what should be in this view. I have following the linear layout. That means this very simple store, the objects, and I have here the text view. Text view mine is responsible to handle my message. It has its own ID, and it has also one kind of string of start message. String is here. Have you seen it? I hope so. String is this string forward me to the other XML file and call it string, where is the first message displayed. And here is the coming soon. This is because at the top of activity lying the progress dialog, as you have seen, until it reach